Hey folks, Dr. Mike Israetel here for Renaissance Periodization. Healthy Eating Made Simple, video number 5, supplements and hydration. Let's get right into it. Our last 4 videos. In those videos, we learned some really cool, useful stuff about how to make a healthy eating plan. We know how to choose healthy foods. We know how to make balanced meals. We know how to count macros. Awesome. And we know how to stick to a pretty stable meal schedule and cook meals that we really like to eat reliably and with very little effort. Great. Next, we are going to learn how to take that baseline awesome diet we have and manipulate it in order to potentially lose fat or gain a little bit of muscle to optimize our health even further. But before that, we have a little bit of housekeeping to do, specifically answering the questions of, should we be taking any supplements? And or should our hydration be somehow regulated? Because these are super common questions. Anytime you talk about health and nutrition, let's get them kicked off. And I mean kicked because they're not going to take that long. Here's the thing about health supplements. The most basic truth is that nobody really needs, in the vast majority of cases outside of the medical literature, people just don't need health supplements. Now, you can take some health supplements to enhance your health potentially a little bit, and it almost certainly won't hurt your health, but there's no promise that it'll make it better, just to sort of round out your intake. Now, following the advice of the previous 4 videos and eating a diversity of different kinds of foods almost always checks these boxes. But we might be able to do just a little bit better, and it certainly won't hurt if we can have the following 3 classes of supplement, and they're super simple. Supplement type number 1, multivitamin, multimineral. Just go get it at Walmart or Sam's Club or something like that. Easiest thing in the world, have 1 a day, rounds out your intake. Number 2, vitamin D supplements. Some evidence to show that that may be beneficial, especially for people in northern latitudes that don't get as much sun as they perhaps would want. And if you buy them in gummies, the gummies are delicious, and it's just really easy to have 2 gummies a day, no big deal. And then potentially fish oil. Now, fish oil has recently run into some research controversy where it's not clear. Used to look like a really great supplement everyone should be taking. Nowadays, it might not modulate cardiovascular disease risk like we thought, but it almost certainly won't hurt you, and it might help you a little bit. None of these supplements, if that's your answer and you don't take, is a fine answer. No problem at all. You don't have to take these supplements. So don't go to the store and run get them. But if you want to, just to be on the really super meticulous side, that's totally cool. There are very few, if any, other supplements that have not been mentioned that you should be taking for your health. Because fundamentally, as this first point on the slide says, the basic truth is you probably don't need any supplements at all in most cases. In some cases, you will need particular supplements for various cycles of life, pregnancy, breastfeeding, elderly, etc. That's a clinical setting. That's to be determined with you and your doctor or your clinical nutritionist. That's a special case. But for most folks in most circumstances, yeah, these 3 supplements are totally cool to take and you can totally take them, and or not at all is totally fine. That brings us to the last point here, hydration. The human body is incredibly well designed to keep you hydrated enough to keep you healthy. Now, that doesn't mean that it hydrates you well enough to maximize your athletic performance. If this lecture was tailored to hydration and athletic performance, it could be an hour long about super meticulous ways to make sure you're hydrated pre, during, post, so on and so forth. But for general health, hydration is something that happens pretty much automatically. You can ensure that this process never gets even a little bit off the rails by drinking a glass or a can or a cup of just some kind of calorie-free beverage with pretty much every meal. And if you find yourself thirsty at various points during the day, just drink more of whatever calorie-free stuff. Water's totally fine. Soda water is totally fine. Diet Coke and stuff is totally fine. That's all super good to go. Super healthy. If you want an indicator, if you're really concerned about your hydration and you think, okay, I'm chronically under drinking, just look at the volume of your urine and its color. If you're peeing plenty relatively often and your urine is off yellow or even regular yellow, and it definitely fits clear, you're doing just fine on hydration, no big deal. Look, if your pee is brown or brownish and you pee twice a day, yeah, you can probably stand to be more hydrated regularly, and then make it a point to drink with your meals. I will say an easy way to do this is just to have a cup or glass or something like that with every single meal, because a lot of people, they eat just regular food and they don't drink, and they just don't make it a habit. And then they run into like, oh my God, I'm getting super thirsty. They have to run out of their work and go get, a thing of Mountain Dew or something like that. You can preempt a lot of stuff just by developing a habit of drinking a nice tall glass of whatever calorie-free beverage, can be water, can be anything else, with your meals, and then you're super well taken care of. Now, yeah, that's it for supplements and hydration, because they really are that simple for health to be checking off your basics. We're done with them. Here's the thing. Right now, with all of these videos included, including this 5th one, we have a good, awesome, stable diet. Maybe we even have some supplement and hydration stuff figured out. next time we learn how to take the stable diet and start to manipulate it on purpose to get even better health, potentially by either gaining muscle and gaining weight if that's what our health requires, or losing fat and losing weight if that's what our health requires. Folks, see you next time.